Was fucking this mic? Hello? Okay. Hello, do you hear me? Hello, do you hear me? What? What is going on? Probably it's too high. I need to lower this a little. Yeah, hello, do you hear me? Yeah, absolutely, you hear me, guys. Probably it's too high. I need to lower this a little. I think you can hear me. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, you hear me, guys. The title is going to be My Passion to React is Back to React. Yeah, I love React Query, guys. React Query, guys. I mean, the title is going to be.
I have been working with React Query for the past week. Wow, I love React Query. But today, right now, I have been working with React Query.
Today I was working on my backend, so
last week
to be.
Wow, I love React Query. But today, right now, I have been working with React Query.
Today I was working on my backend, so
last week to be. Wow, I love React Query. But today, right now, I have been working with React Query.
Today I was working on my backend, so
last week to be.
Okay.
Wow, I love it.
See, okay, I already did a couple of things. What I'm trying to do is that I will eliminate the Zod validation from and make a validation middleware. Okay. What I'm trying to do is that I will remove all of these, all my controllers have Zod validation middleware. I will remove this Zod validation and I will remove all of these. Make it controllers have Zod inside a middleware only. So I will remove this side validation. That's first. Second, we also need to create a service layer so that we can hide Prisma. That's first. Second, we also code create a service layer so that we can possibly making the code Prisma. That's first. Much better. Second, look at this function. It's ugly. This will be hidden. This will be hidden. And this will be hidden. Look at this function. It's ugly. This will be hidden. This will be hidden because I'm validating the ID. But if the ID is wrong, the Prisma will return null anyway. So I don't have to validate the ID and waste some. Because also validating the ID, but if the ID is wrong, the Prisma will return null anyway. So I don't have to validate the ID and waste some. Because also a high quality code, but if the ID is wrong, so I already started return this code anyway. So I don't have to validate the ID with here. But I figured out this doesn't work because if I do this, I cannot use the controller. But I figured out this doesn't work because I have to do this anyway. This I cannot use the controller. But I figured out here I also decided to use raise.locals instead of having a user ID attached to the request. Okay, so we also decided to use raise.locals instead of having a user ID attached this way. Now we have like we also decided to use raise.locals instead of having a user ID. We will start one by one. So this is my function that returns a middleware. This function is going to take the schema. We will start. It's going to validate the body. Okay, it takes a body schema. It's going to return a middleware that is going to parse the request body. Okay, it takes if body not success, we will return a middleware that is going to otherwise request body. I mean, this is very cool. Okay, this is body not success. We will return a middleware that is going to inside my otherwise request body. This is very cool. Not success. We will return first function here inside my otherwise request body. Here I have get field. Okay, first function shall create services. Here I have get field. Okay, create service function. Shall create services. It has an echo. Cool. Get field. Cool. Okay, create service function. We will call this services. It has an echo. Cool. Get field. Social.service maybe. We will call this social services. It has an echo. Cool. Social.service. We will call this social services. And we are gonna take this guy. We will call this. We are gonna take. And we are this guy. This guy. Okay. We will call this. We are take. And we are this guy. This guy. Okay. We will call this guy. Yet I'm gonna change the name because I don't like. Get. I'm gonna change the name because I don't like posts. Get posts. Like I don't know. I'm gonna change. We should implement pagination, but we still didn't implement pagination. Posts. Get posts. Like, I don't know. Let's just call it get posts. I'm gonna change. We should implement pagination, but we still didn't implement pagination. Posts. Get posts. Like, I don't know. Let's just call it get posts. User profile select pagination. I need to import this guy. Posts. Get posts. Like, I don't know. Let's just call it user profile select pagination. Import this user profile select. Now let's just call it user profile select pagination. Import this user profile select. Now let's just call it user profile select pagination. Import this user profile select. Now let's just call it user profile select pagination. Import this user profile select. Now let's just call it user profile select pagination. Import this user profile select. Okay. Now let's just call it return a result. That's it. That's it. Okay. Now inside here, all you have to do return a result. That's it. Get. That's it. Post. Now inside here, all you have to do is return a result. That's it. Await. Get posts. Get. That's it. Post. That's it. Inside here, all you have to do is.
And now I'm doing this because of
posts. That's it. Post. That's it. I did some really bad decisions.
Now I'm doing this because of posts. And
that's it. I did some really bad decisions.
Now I'm doing this because
inside the service anymore.
Posts with username. It doesn't make sense.
I would actually get rid of this because this is inside the service anymore. Okay, this is ugly.
Posts with username.
I would get rid of this. I would actually get rid of this because this is inside the service anymore. Okay, this is ugly.
Posts with username.
I would get rid of this. I would have to change. I actually get rid of the point because this is inside. That's for better because I think this is anti-virus. Get rid of this. I would have to change. This is wrong. That's for probably it is. Let's keep this is an anti-virus. Get rid of this. I would have to change. This is wrong. That's for probably it is. Let's keep this is an anti-virus. Get rid of this map. I would have to change. This is wrong. Exposed to probably it is. Let's keep this is an anti-virus.
And we would say this is
exposed to probably it is. Maybe quick find it.
And we would say this is
exposed to probably it is. Maybe it's quick find it.
And we would say this
nice. Okay, so now this function becomes like this. And all I have to do is okay, so now this function becomes like this. And all I have to do is now request. So now this function becomes like this. And all I have to do is now the second function request. So now this function raise.local's user ID. Okay, this function is protected. So now the second I won't reach here unless there is a user ID inside local's. Okay, and I used this function in local's instead of attaching user ID to the raise. I won't reach the request unless there is a user ID inside
because this is what Express recommends.
But I've seen people attaching the raise properties to the request any user ID. Okay,
because this is
but
what
I did this
Express
because
recommends.
But I've seen people attaching clear properties to the request because locals
because this is
but
what
I did this
Express
because
recommends.
locals I don't attaching clear properties to the request because locals
because this is
but
what
I did this
Express
because
recommends.
locals I don't attaching clear properties to the
Now we have
locals
because this is
but
what
I did this
Express
because
recommends.
locals I don't attaching clear properties to the
Now we have
locals it's working. And the second function is get user like posts. So take this guy. It's working. And the second function is get user like posts. So take this guy. It's working. And the second function is get user like posts. I hate the name, so can we think about a better name? It's working. And the second function is get user like posts. I hate the name, so can we think about a better name? What should working? And the second function is get user like. I hate the name, so can we think I should differentiate between the names of the controllers and the name of the service? I hate the name, so can we think the service should be between the names of the controllers, more specific to the database service. I hate the name, like here it gets service should be between the names of the controllers, more specific to the database hosts. I hate the name, like here it gets service should be between the names of the controllers, more specific to the database hosts. I hate the name, like here it gets service should be between the names. The name is very explicit, more specific to the database. Get user like posts, like that's what it's doing. The name is very explicit. Get user like posts, like that's what it's doing. Okay, it's going to receive get user like posts, user ID, what it's doing. But okay, it's going to receive receive an ID. User ID, user ID, but okay, it's going to receive an ID, user ID, result is equal to this guy. It's going to receive an ID, user result. But actually, before returning the result, this guy, it's going to result including the like posts. But actually, selecting the ID, result this guy. It's going to so I have to return a result including the like posts. But actually, selecting the ID, result this guy. So I have to return a result including the like posts. What is this? Actually, selecting the ID, result this guy. So I have to receive a result. If it's null, what is this? Actually, it's null. I will throw an error. So here I'm returning if it's null an array. It's null. I will throw an error IDs. Here I'm returning we need to an array. It's not obtain IDs. Here I'm returning we need to an array. It's not obtain IDs. Here I'm returning we need to an array. It's not obtain IDs. Here I'm returning we need to an array. It's not result dot like result also we need okay result dot like if result also not okay result okay if result is not we are going to throw if you not app error result and the status is going to be we are going to throw if you the message is going to be error result and the status is going to be invalid for me. Or maybe user not found. User status is going to be invalid for not found. Or maybe user not found. If there is no result. Otherwise, we can do this. We will map each post to his ID. And we will return. There is no result. Otherwise, we can do this. We will map each post to his ID. Now, we will return. There is no result. Does not exist. Otherwise, we can do this. Array of string each post to his ID. Yeah, now that's true. There is no result. Does not exist. Otherwise, we can do this. Array of string each post to his ID. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. That's true. There is no result. Does not exist. Otherwise, now this is my user ID. Each post to his ID. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. That's true. Posts equal to this is my user ID. User like rows. I'm gonna give first to this is my user ID. User like rows. I'm gonna give first to this is change the name. We need to import this as a service. Okay, rows. I'm gonna import all as a service. To this is change maybe import all as a service. Import this as a service. Okay, rows. Import all as a service. Import all as a service. Maybe import all as a service. Import this as a service. Like social. Import all as a service. Import all service as a service. Maybe import all as a service. Import this as a service. Maybe social. Maybe import all as a service. Import all service as a service. Social service. All as a service. Maybe in social. Import all as a service. Import all service. Right. And then we will return like this. I mean, see guys, like the code is becoming like very very elegant already, right? Code is beautiful. Then we will return like this. I mean, see guys, like the code is becoming very posts. Very elegant, nice, very nice. Code is beautiful. Then we will return. See, I mean, see guys, like the code is becoming very beautiful posts. Get users is I don't need it أصلا يعني تمام. We remove this logic instead of sending an array of users to the get users is I don't need it أصلا يعني تمام. We embedded user inside the logic inside my post, inside my comments. Get users is an embedded user. Okay, but I chose to send the posts without an embedded user when the client is visiting a social profile. The post without an embedded user, which was a bad decision. When cause right now I have two types of social profile in my client without an embedded user, which was a bad decision. With author embedded and cause right now I have two types of things, and this caused the problem. This caused the headache. Which was a bad decision. With author embedded and cause that was a bad decision. And I should roll back. This caused the problem. Sending this caused the embedded user. Which was a bad decision. With author embedded and even when I am inside the social sending user embedded user even when I am inside the social sending user premature optimization is evil. Now even when I am inside the social sending user premature optimization is evil. Cannot find even when I am okay. Get user posts. Okay, this function also the name is okay because I'm not returning user posts. I'm returning to this. I'm returning user posts. Okay, this function the user and I'm returning his posts. Okay, because I'm not returning user posts. I'm returning to this. I'm returning user posts. Okay, this function the user and I'm returning his posts. I will because I'm not returning user posts. I'm returning to this. I'm returning. I will actually okay this function the user return embedded user also inside. I'm returning to this. I will actually go the user return embedded user also inside. I'm returning to this. I will actually go the user return embedded user also inside. I'm returning to this. I will actually go the user return embedded user also inside. I will just return embedded user. Okay. The rec.param.username embedded I have here. Okay, this type. The rec.param.username embedded I have here. Okay, this type. The rec.param.username embedded I have here. Okay, this type. The rec.param.username embedded I have here. Okay, this type. The rec.param.username embedded I have here. Okay, this type. The user profile is a better name. Okay, user profile data for example, or user profile. User profile is a better name. Okay, user profile data for example. Get user profile. User profile is a better profile data. Get profile data. Get user profile. User profile data is a better profile data. Get profile data. Get user profile. Prisma is a better profile data. Get profile data. Posts. Get user profile. Prisma okay. Is a better profile data. Get profile data. Posts. Instead of making two requests, let's just get profile. Take this. Instead of making two requests, let's just get profile. Take this. Instead of making two requests, user get profile. Take this. Instead of making constant result, omit the password. Very cool. Okay. Instead of making now including the posts and inside the posts I will include comments. Alright, now including the posts I will also include the author. Inside the posts I will include comments. I will include the author. Alright, now including the posts I will also
very simple in the front.
inside the posts I will include comments.
I will show you later.
Now,
So now let's just
including the posts I will also include
very simple in the front.
inside the posts I will include comments.
I will show you later.
So now let's just including the posts I will also include
very simple
user
inside
the
profile
posts
select.
I will include comments.
I will show you later. Okay.
So now let's just including the posts I will also include
very
I need to change this name. I hate this name.
I will
I will
show you
user profile select doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so I will go here.
I need to change this name. I hate this.
I will show you
User profile select doesn't make any sense.
select. Okay, so I will go here.
I need to change
Save user
selection. User profile select doesn't make
save user selection. So I will go here.
I need to change
Save user.
This is way user profile select
Now
doesn't
we save user selection. So I will go here. Save user.
This is way user profile.
Okay. Now we save user selection. So
Now we've got
save
tons of errors, but that's okay. This is way okay. Get user profile data. We've got tons of errors, but that's okay. This is way okay. Get user profile data. We've got tons of errors, but that's okay. Things. The posts. Okay. Get user profile data. We've got user data. Tons of errors, but that's okay. User data. Okay. Get user profile data. We've got user data. Tons of errors, but that's okay. User data. Okay. Get user profile data. We've got user data. Tons of errors, but that's okay. User.
I don't need this, you know. Remove all of this
Profile data. We've got user data. Tons of errors, but that's okay.
We are going to. I don't need this, you know. Remove all of this.
Profile data. We've got user data. Tons of errors, but that's okay.
We are going to. I don't need this, you know. Remove all of this. Now I can just return the result as is. Return the result. We are going to.
Because the result is a user
Now I can just return the result as is.
his posts and his result is a user or his data with
Result as is.
his posts and his result is a user or his data with his posts and that answer we actually need and user or his data with his posts and that answer we actually need and user or his data with his posts كان شوي رجعنا 400 باليوزر نوت فاوند كان 404 probably yeah كان شوي I should رجعنا 400 باليوزر نوت get the user like it posts
404 probably
yeah okay here also user not get the user like it posts
404 probably
yeah okay otherwise user not get the user like it posts
404 probably
yeah you can remove all otherwise user not get the user like it posts
404 probably
and otherwise the name in my front end is called profile data and user otherwise the name in user front end is called profile data and user otherwise the name in user social service stores get user data and user otherwise the name user social service stores get user data unit it's okay user social service stores get user data unit it's okay user social service stores get user profile data unit it's okay user social service stores now user I need to look at the social.api.ts. Now, user, I need to look at the orchestrate profile social.api.ts. Now, user, I need to look at the orchestrate profile get follows. Now, user, I need to get profile data history, get follows query function, get profile data history, get follows. Okay, user profile data orange. It's called user profile data object. Okay, user profile data orange. It's called user profile data. Okay, it expects the object user profile. So I should not do this. Okay. Okay, it expects the object user profile. So I should not do this. Okay. Okay, it expects the object user profile data. Do this. Okay. Expects the object profile data. User profile data. Okay, user profile data. Okay, so expects the object profile data. User profile type. Okay, user profile data. Okay, so profile data. Object profile response. User equal type. User profile data. Okay, so profile data. User response data. And user profile data. Okay, this is for consistency. We are trying to be consistent. User. Okay, we always send an object that has the data inside. We are trying to. So this is an object. It has property. We always send an object that has the data. So now we need to return an object. It has also property. We always send an object that has the data. So now we need to return an object. It has also property. We always send an object that has now we need to return an object. Very cool. Very cool. We always send an object that has now we need to return an object. Very cool. Very cool. We always send an object that has now we need to return an object. Get very user of very cool. We always send an object that has now. Okay, nice. So now we can go here, get user post, user profile data, now return user profile. That's very cool. Okay. Okay, next. So now we can go rec.params.post ID. So this is correct. Okay, next. So this is correct. Rec.params.post ID. So this is correct. Okay, next. So this is correct. Actually, if I should have some space ID. So this is correct. Okay, next. So this is correct. Also, we should actually, if I should have some space ID. And also, so this is correct. So next. So this is correct. Also, we should actually, if I should have some space ID. And also, so this is correct. Do this maybe. Also, we should actually, if I should have some space ID. And also, so this is correct. Do this maybe. Also, we should actually, if I should have some space ID. And also, so this is correct. Do this maybe. Also, we should actually, if I should have some space ID. And also, so this is correct. Do this probably not. We have this guy. He's the only type. This probably. We have this guy. ID scheme I'm not gonna use the only type. That was a bad decision. This probably. Alright. We have this guy. ID scheme I'm not gonna use the only type. That was a bad decision. Probably. Alright. طيب. We have this guy. ID scheme I'm not gonna use the only type. That was a bad decision. Also طيب. We have this guy later. Get user posts, like a post ID, and the rec.user ID. No. Get user posts, like a post ID. And the rec.user ID, this is the user ID and this is the post ID. Now, this is ugly nonsense shit. We don't need this. User ID. I'm not going to parse the ID. Now, this is ugly nonsense shit. We don't need this. Await prisma.post.parse post liked by connect by this user. Nice. Prisma.post.parse take this post liked by connect by this user. Nice. Take this post, like it by connect by this user. Nice. I think this name should take this post, like it by connect by this get user. Getting this name should take this. I should have something like by this get update get user. Getting post like maybe update post. I should have something like get update get and update. Maybe get and update. Maybe update post. I should have something like update get post update. Like and this is a better name because I'm updating the post. I should have some likes. Update get post update. Like and this is a better name because I'm updating the post. I should have some likes. Update get post update. Like this is a better name because I'm updating the post. I should have some likes. Get post update. Like this is a better name because I'm updating the post. Likes. The result is عبارة عن شو؟ result عبارة عن البوست. So do I need to return the post? Yeah, just return the post, but I need to return عبارة عن شو؟ result عبارة عن image content. Yeah, I need to return something. So do I need to return the post? Yeah, just return the result, but I need to return عبارة عن شو؟ result عبارة عن image content. Yeah, I need to return something. So do I need to return the post? Yeah, just return the count or select the count. Can I include the count? Yeah, I need to include the count. So do I need to return the post? Yeah, just return the count or select. Can I include the count? Like it by is I guess exclude count select. Now I have like it by the post. I guess with the count. Now I have, and I also want to include the author. Okay, I will select the count. Now I have, and I also want to include the author. Very cool. I will select the count. Now I have, and I also want to include. Why am I sending the post? Very cool. I don't have to send the post every time someone. And I also want to include a post. Why am I sending the post? Very cool. I don't have to send the post every time someone. Maybe likes a post is a way to ensure consistency. So every time a user likes a post, he receives a new post. Maybe with a new like is a way just to make sure that the number is correct. So every time a user likes a post, he receives a new post. Maybe a new like is a way just to make sure that the number is correct. So every time a user likes a post, he receives a new post. Maybe a new like is a way just to make sure that the number is correct. So every time a user likes a post, he receives a new post. Maybe a new like is a way just to make sure that the number is correct. So every time a user likes a post, he receives okay. Okay, this is, yeah, I need to ask Gemini about this. I mean, every time I use a param, it's a string or an array of string because the same param could be repeated in the URL. I use a param, it's a string or an array of string because the same param could be repeated in the URL. I use a param, it's a string or an array of string because should I do this param could be repeated in the URL. I use a param, it's a string or an array of string because should I do this param could be repeated in the URL. I use a param, it's a string or an array of string because should I do this param could be repeated in the URL. Express every time I use this param could be repeated and the express is every time I use this param could be repeated and the express every time I use or not. مع انه هي اصلا يعني المفروض انه ما تكون null اصلا بعمل لا undefined مع انه هي اصلا يعني المفروض انه ما تكون null اصلا بعمل لا I don't know how it's undefined. I mean if it's undefined you wouldn't even be in this place. In the first place we wouldn't even be here. If the param is undefined, I mean, if it's undefined, you wouldn't even be in this place. In first place, we wouldn't even be here. Why? If the param is undefined, I mean, if it's undefined, you wouldn't even be in this place. Maybe because you can remove it. If the param is undefined, even though it might exist in the URL, it might exist in the route, but maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Maybe that's why it's maybe there is another middleware before this, even though it might exist that removed the param. Okay. The confusion you are experiencing here is incredibly common in migrating from plain JavaScript to TypeScript Express. To answer your question directly, no, using async is not the standard approach. See guys, like plain JavaScript. That's why I love asking Gemini before. To answer your question directly, no, using async is not the standard approach. We asked Gemini a couple of times. That's why I love asking Gemini before. Tell us how to do things. Async is not the standard approach. Like Profesh, she asked Gemini consider an out. That's why I love dated anti-pattern called typecasting. Is not the standard approach. Please accept she asked Gemini consider an out. That's why I love. I can called typecasting is not the standard. Please accept she asked me consider out. That's why I can called typecasting is not the standard. Please accept she asked me consider out. That's why I can called typecasting is not the. I should have done that. Okay, but let's continue reading. Why does undefined exist? Yeah, you are right that for a route like the controller will never be hit if the ID is missing. However, TypeScript express. Why does undefined exist? String. You are right that for a route like the controller will never be hit. Undefined exists for two reasons. Yeah, maybe you are. Why does undefined exist? String. You are right that for a route like maybe you are writing something undefined exists. That's for two reasons. Yeah, maybe you are. Why does undefined exist? String. You are right that for a route like you are writing something undefined exists. That's for two reasons. Never used. Maybe you are. Why does undefined exist? I totally forgot. The controller will fire take to the parameters adding dictionary typing under the hood express. The controller will fire parameters to connect that dictionary. Yes, if a TypeScript configuration string under the hood express specifically no unchecked indexed access. Okay. If a TypeScript configuration, what is this option? No unchecked specifically, but it's active in my DS config. TypeScript will force any key. What is this option? You access on a dictionary to possibly be undefined because it can't guarantee you the key. What is this option? You access on. Why does because we might have multiple undefined because it can't guarantee you the key. What is this option? You access. Why does because we might have multiple undefined this is actually a slight mix-up. No, man, it's why does because we might have multiple undefined this is actually a slight mix-up. No, man, it's why does because we might have multiple undefined this is actually a slight mix-up. No, man, it's okay. Why does this can be a array because rect.query can be arrays. Objects or strings types are not messy. The problem with rect.query can be arrays. So the correct way is objects or strings as we did. Not messy. The problem with rect.query can be arrays. So the correct way is objects or strings as we did. Okay, the generic type utility. If you just want TypeScript to examine, so the correct way is objects or strings. Okay, the generic type utility. Approach to without validation to robust product. productions to the correct way to I will use Zod validation for my approach to Zod validation params. In a highly robust production, I don't just use Zod validation for my approach to Zod string params. It might be an invalid string. In a highly robust production, I don't just use strings are using Zod for the request. But it might be an invalid string. The way is to use it for URL parameters too. Zod for the request. Okay. But it might be an invalid string. The way is to use it for URL parameters too. Zod for the request. Okay. But it might be an invalid string. The way is to use it for URL parameters too. Zod for the request. Okay. But it might be an invalid string. The way is to use it for URL parameters too. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is wrong, okay, Prisma will throw. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. Okay. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. Okay. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. Okay. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. Okay. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. Okay. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. Okay. I don't think I have to do this because anyway, if the ID is get null from the service, okay, Prisma will throw. طيب طيب ممكن اعمل ميدل وير يعني بدل ما اعمل هيك مثلا ممكن اعمل ميدل وير يعني ممكن مثلا شو هيك ممكن اعمل ميدل وير يعني بدل ما اعمل هيك مثلا ممكن اعمل ميدل وير يعني ممكن مثلا for example like here شو هيك ممكن اعمل ميدل وير this guy has a param post ID user ID post ID for example user ID here this guy has a param post ID user ID post ID for example user ID here this guy only need two Zods user ID two Zods and two types and it's going to be called validate params yeah okay let's make it middleware two Zods and two types so you go to called validate params middleware okay let's make it I will call this two Zods validate so you go to called validate params middleware okay let's make validate params.ts validate so you go to camel case is better because it's going to be one params.ts validate so validate params camel case validate because it's going to be one params.ts yes validate params camel case function validate params.ts params alright params camel case function support Zod params type right function okay why it's not complaining I should use type Zod params type right type why it's not complaining I should use type Zod the type Zod type param type type why it's not complaining I should use type Zod the type Zod type param type both other type شلون I should use type other type Zod type param type that's weird both other type شلون I should use type other type Zod type param type that's weird both other type شلون I should use type other type Zod type param type that's weird that's really weird I should use type other type Zod type param type that's weird That's really weird. Is it because of this erasable syntax only? Maybe yeah, it's because of erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. Maybe yeah, it's because of erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. Maybe yeah, it's because of erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. Maybe yeah, it's because of erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. How is this even possible? Erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. How is this even possible? Erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. How is this even possible? Erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. How is this even possible? Erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this erasable syntax only? I don't know. How is this even possible? Erasable syntax. Really weird. Is it? It's not because of this. I don't know how is this working without including the type keyword here. Okay, because in my TS config is working without including the in my TS config I have this option. Where is it? Okay, because it's verbat module syntax. Without including verbat module syntax. I have this option. Says that in order to import that verbat to say that syntax to include the type. Verbat module syntax says that in order to import that verbat to say that I have no idea how to include the type. Verbat module syntax. But anyway, it says that in order to import that verbat to this function, I have no idea how to the type. Verbat module syntax. But anyway, it says that in order to import that verbat to this function, I have no idea how to the type. Verbat module syntax. But anyway, it says that in order to import that verbat to this function, I have no idea. I mean, like those are types, and I have to include the type. But here, like, says that in order to import that. What is this, man? I have no idea. I mean, like those are types, and I have to include the type, but here I gotta ask this now right now. What is this? I have verbat شو كان اسمه verbat شو اسمه config verbat module syntax. Wow, what a name. Verbat module syntax set to true, but I can import this Zod type without the keyword. How is that even possible? I mean, this is a type. I'm using it as a type. I'm using it as a type, and it's a type. Interface. I don't know how is this possible. This is a fantastic question because it exposes a very subtle detail about how TypeScript handles imports under the hood. The reason does not yell at you for importing Zod type without the type keyword is because Zod type is not just a type, it's a JavaScript class. Here's exactly how this works under the hood and how to handle it correctly. Okay, I know that there's values and there is types. Values things like function, const, class. Okay. Physical runtime representation when you enable it tells the compiler do not try to guess what I'm imports from files. Why don't you just leave the import in the final JS? Because that type is a class. But TypeScript assumes you might be planning to use it. Trying to Okay. Even though TypeScript allows you to use import type without the type keyword, leaving it this way when you don't intend to use it as a runtime value is considered a suboptimal practice. If you are only using type as a type annotation for a variable or parameter, the modern standard approach to always explicitly add the type keyword anyway. Yeah, because it will be removed. It will be removed from the compiled file. So we need to say type here, okay, so that it's removed. Okay. break past raise past next is عبارة عن next function raise هو عبارة عن response function break هو عبارة عن request. Okay, now I'm returning this function. This function is actually going to take my parse result is equal to param schema dot save parse. Save parse what exactly? Save parse the rec dot params. Okay, and I got an error here. It's not defined, so const parse result. Const parse result if parse result dot success. All right, if parse result is not success, we will return raise dot status 400 dot json message invalid input or invalid params. I don't know, maybe invalid params, so like the name, it's helpful if someone is using my API, you know. Invalid params, but I can also include something. I can include the errors. I can include the errors also. Okay, so let's go here and see that errors. الerrors هي عبارة عن okay, we need to do it. Okay, import z from Zod. Okay, import z from Zod. الerrors هي عبارة عن z.335. What a name. 35 parse result dot error. Okay, beautiful. Now, what else do we have in the parses dot success and data? Yeah. If not success, return this thing. Otherwise I would say break total params is equal to parse result dot data. He's complaining the type unknown is not assignable to type params dictionary. Okay, because params is unknown. Because we need to say okay, I don't know if this is correct, you know. Type params body وعبارة عن zar.infer type of params schema. I mean, you know, like this should be like params body schema. It's a better name. Consistency is it. So now I have the type and I can include it here. Params body, and it's not going to contain. So maybe this is correct, maybe. And after that, we will go next. And I'm returning this function. Nice. Nice. Okay. Now we will take this function, validate params. Okay, we will go here. And I know that I have validate body. I still haven't used it. I need to validate the username. I mean, how would I validate the username? Okay. Let's have a type. Params. You know, naming things is actually like what would I name this? Like params with post ID. Maybe this is a good name. Params with post ID. This is a good name. Okay. Scheme. Params with post ID schema. هو params dot result from Zara. All right. Done object. Post ID هو عبارة عن zod.uuid zod.uuid before because that's what we are using. And the message is going to be invalid. Invalid ID, invalid UAP. No, I mean just invalid ID, invalid post ID. Okay. Now what's wrong with this? Yeah, this is not a type. Const. But yeah, I don't need to declare the type anyway. Okay, this is params with post ID, and then we have user ID. Post ID with user ID schema. Invalid user ID. Okay, so now we have to import validate params from this guy, and I have to come here and I have to say, hey, we will validate params with post ID schema. It's complaining. Why it's complaining? No overload matches this code. The last overload gave the following error. Argument. Okay. Okay. Did you forget to use await? The last overload. Did you forget to use await? I mean, why would I need await exactly? Where do I need await? Oh yeah, this shouldn't be a async function because it's returning a promise. It should not return a promise. It should return a function. So now it's returning a function. Okay. So now I'm validating the params with post ID scheme. So now I can go here Okay, and I know for sure that rec.params.post ID exists 100%. And res.locals is also, I know that it exists 100%. This is really nice. Okay, this is really nice. And now here you'll say validate params with user ID schema. Okay, very beautiful. And now here we will take this line also again. We have comma here. We have this guy, and then create post. We have no param. Here we need the post ID again. Params with post ID. And here we need a user ID. So params with user ID scheme. All right, here we need to make another guy. Params with username scheme. Okay, and it's going to be username وعبارة عن zod.string, and I know that the username should be what? I don't remember actually. Auth. I'm going to go for auth. Auth.schema. Sign up schema. The username should be 3 characters. Okay. 3 characters. So it's like zod.string. You can do this. This. Put them in. Wait a second. Okay. Invalid user name. Invalid username. Just invalid username. Okay. And then we can go here. We can say validated params. Validated params. Okay, params with the username. Okay, we need to remove. We imported something. What did I just import? I don't know. Okay. Now this looks nice. Okay, these are protected routes. And it looks promising. Okay, it looks promising. Get user posts. I know that I will definitely have a username. I don't have to check the username. It's like .params.username. I know that it exists. 100% it exists. Now, because I will repeat this multiple times, I will repeat this guy multiple times. So I will have to do I will have to make some types. Maybe I will create a folder called Express. And inside this folder, I have like 1 and I have 2. Okay, and here I have all these guys. and I will import these guys. Should I import them as is? Just import them as is. Okay. Okay. Now I can go for my controller again, and I will have this guy. Request. I mean, I think if I keep it like this, it's better. I think this way is better. Instead of having to name type, this is better, I guess. Just keep it like this. It's okay. طيب. Update the post slide and send the post. And while updating the post, if the post didn't even exist, if the post did not exist, I'll return the result first. I know that this result okay, this should be null, man. Like this should be a post or a null. But if there is no null here, this means that if this post did not exist, then Prisma will throw. Now I am actually confused because sometimes Prisma returns null and sometimes Prisma returns throws if not exist. Probably on update it's going to throw, and on find it doesn't throw on find. On find it could return null, but on update it throws. Okay, it throws if not found. So I will have to test this and see what it is going to throw. I'll check this actually. I'll check this. I'll check it later, not now. But anyway, okay, it's going to throw. It's going to throw. So I will return the result here and I'll check. Yeah. طيب هلا post ID rec.params.post ID. I know that post ID exists. I know that this guy exists in locals. Locals.id. And we don't need this because we already did it in the middleware. We don't need this because we already did it in the middleware. We don't need this because we already did it in the middleware. And this is my service. And I'm gonna take it. Delete like post. Should I use the same service but maybe like, or should I have two different services? I mean, I can disconnect. Okay, I can disconnect. So should I use the same service or should I use another service? Hey, that's a good question. We might have to ask Gemini about this. We might have to ask Gemini. I think he's going to tell me that I should use another function. Probably I should use another function. It's going to be exactly the same code, just disconnect instead of connect. Should I use the same function to like or should I make another function? The function name is already updated, so it makes sense to use it with an extra parameter. But I'm not sure what is that. What is that? Standard. What is but I'm not sure. So, okay. I will go and bring some water. Uh-huh. However, modern backend architecture combining them into a single function is considered an anti-pattern. You should definitely create two separate functions. I know. The business logic versus database logic trap. You are looking at this from a database perspective. Both actions update a row, so it's one function. But your service layer should represent business's action. Remove liking both and unliking both are two fundamentally different business actions. This is governed by the single responsibility principle. Next month, you decide to send a push notification to the author when someone's. Yeah, oh wow, yeah. Likes their post. If you add one combined function, you have to add an ugly action equal like same notification. That's very true. Wow, yeah, that's true. The analytics problem. Later, you want to log an analytic even every time a like is removed. Your combined function gets another if action. That's yeah. Okay. So this should be not about the database. Like the name is about the database, you know, like this name is about the database. He's telling me that the name should be about the business. Okay, so like post is about the business. Like post is about the business. Unlike post. Unlike post. Okay. Unlike post. Unlike is as one word. Okay, we will just say disconnect instead of connect. Again, if for some reason this post doesn't exist, it will throw. But what if the user doesn't exist? What's gonna happen? Is it going to throw? I don't know. I have to check. I don't know actually. I think it doesn't throw if he wasn't connected. I think it will only throw if the ID wasn't found. Post ID wasn't found. But here, if it was if the user wasn't already in the table, then it's okay. That's a guess. Anyway, let's go here. Active social service dot like a post. Argument of time. Okay. All right. I will return the post. Okay. Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. We still have a lot of things to do. Wow. Okay. What's wrong here? Property? Yeah, it doesn't exist. Like post. All right. And we don't need this line. We don't need this line. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Comment the post. Post ID عبارة عن rec.params.post ID, and I will go here and say that this guy has a post ID of string. That's first. Second, we need to say phrase.cast. I mean, just repeating myself over and over again. We don't need to parse the ID anymore here. We don't need this anymore here. It's already in the middleware. We create comment body schema. Oh, we don't need this. We don't need this, but I need the yeah, I see the problem. Okay, I will remove this. And now rec.body is actually not going to be of any type. Okay. I mean, it would be honestly very nice if TypeScript worked between the middlewares. but it doesn't work. Doesn't know that there is a Zod middleware. It doesn't know. It doesn't know. So I need a type, create comment body server schema. Okay. So this is going to be hello. I think this could be any, maybe not any, maybe like no. This could be the create comment body social.schema.ts create comment. Yeah, it's just create comment. Yeah, it's correct. Create comment body. Okay. But you see, like this type is ugly, so I will take it and we are going to make a type. Comment post request is equal to this thing. And then we can say comment post request. Nice. Is there any that he expected something? Okay. And now my reg.body has a content. Very cool, very cool. Okay, I need to take this guy. Like post, comment, on post, comment. طيب انا المفروض يكون في عندي comment and delete comment، فاحنا المفروض يكون الاسم makes sense. طب اللايك قلنا شو؟ like and unlike، comment and delete comment. So maybe comment on post, like just give it comment on post, like keep the name expressive. Okay, just comment on post. That's a good name. That's a good name. Yeah, it needs user ID, firstly, one string, firstly, post ID, one string, firstly, content, one string. You know, instead of passing the content, because this content is actually a body, so we should be consistent and we should think about a name consistently. So maybe we will call this body. Maybe body. Body is a good name. But what's its type should be? It could be anything. It could be anything that so no let's create comment body. Yeah. Okay. I was confused for a little bit. Now we will say body dot content. Body dot content. Yeah. If the post doesn't exist,
Okay, if the post didn't exist, the Prisma will throw. It will throw a constraint, unique constraint, or foreign key constraint error, I guess. Yes, I'm not sure. It should throw because in my schema, inside my comment, I have the relation. It's a foreign key, so it must exist. That will throw. If post ID doesn't exist or author ID does not exist, this guy is going to throw anyway. So I don't need to check for null because this cannot be not. See, like this guy cannot be not. Okay, if this failed, it will throw an error. So we return the result. We'll drink a little bit of water. Okay. Comment on post, unlike post, like post. Get user profile data. Get user liked posts. Get posts. Yeah, this one should be get all posts, but I'm planning to implement pagination. Okay, so just keep it get posts for now. Okay. Comment on post. Post comment equal social services dot comment on post user ID fastly post ID fastly rec dot body. And we can return this guy with the status of created. And we don't have to return anything because Prisma will throw. Okay. This is actually very cool. Okay. Get user posts. Delete like post. Like post. This should be unlike post. What is deleting? I don't know. Should I name my controllers the same as my routes? I don't think so. Is it normal for the controllers and the service to have the same name? I think yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. The namespace, yeah, I did the namespace thing, yeah. I did the namespace thing. Okay. Okay, I think it's perfectly valid to have exactly the same name. So unlike a post, like a post, comment on the post. create a post. This is a monster. We gotta work on it. So first thing, type create post body. No, I mean create post request, right? Create post request. Oh, this should be create comment request. Create comment request, create post request is equal to request that takes an unknown and create post body server. Okay, and I will have to eliminate this create post body server and create post body client. I have to eliminate this. I have to eliminate this. It's ugly. It's a code menu. I basically have two, one for the client and one for the server, because the file could be a URL, the image could be a URL or a file. The client, it's a file. In here, the client, the image is a file. Okay, and here on the server, the image is a URL. I could have used or. I could use or. But if I used or, this means that a client could send in a file to the server. And this is not the case. So I don't know whether I should use, and also like if this type is for the server only, but it's not for the server only, it's actually being used inside my React. Yeah, I mean both of these are being used inside my client code. I don't know if this pattern is something acceptable. Create post body server schema, create post body client schema. I don't know. I mean, if I use or, this means that I would have to handle the case that my client sends a file. Okay, so I would have to handle both, sending a URL or sending a file. And I think that it's fine. It's fine. Create post body server. I think it's fine. Okay, I think it's fine. Create post request. Okay, and here res.local user ID. I mean, it's funny that can I specify? I mean, why am I getting type hints? I'm not getting type hints. I don't know why. Type comment request. Comment request. What is this? That's actually. Oh. ليش ما طلع لي التايب هنت يا اخي لما عم بفتح الجينيريك؟ في شي غلط، كان يطلعوا لي ما طلعوا لي، ما بعرف ليش صراحة يعني. الفرونت اند بيطلعوا لك، الفرونت اند بيطلعوا لك، الباك اند
باك اند على خير شو هي ما تايب كومنت شو هاد كومنت أنا عندي صحيح شو كومنت يا أخي كومنت بوست يا أخي هي شو كومنت بوست ريكوست اوكي طيب هلا هي شو دخل كومنت بوست ريكويست شو هاد ليش طالع لي هون شو دخل التايب اللي فوق بالتايب اللي هون كومنت بوست ريكويست ماشي ليش هذا التايب طالع هون يعني weird very weird طيب response we don't know it's generic signature so we are going to leave it because anyway this is a record okay? This is record so it's okay we are not going to validate absolutely and we are yeah we don't need this we need this let's say for sync function create post Prisma dot okay we need a couple of things I only need the user ID balance string and I need the body is going to be a create a post body server okay and I will spread the body why don't I spread the body I can spread the body instead of this you know body I can spread the body bang. No this works I don't have to spread how is that possible why I think I should spread type content string type undefined unassigned type string yeah so I'm confused what is the difference between okay so this here means that it might not even exist okay it means that this guy movie title might not even exist null or undefined undefined means that it exists but its value is set to undefined okay so the case here is that my content any why any body dot content is a string I know this for sure movie title body dot movie title but movie title here could be undefined and he doesn't like undefined Okay, this guy doesn't like undefined. So I should cast null to undefined. If I could make my Zod schemas, I think probably there is a way. There's a way to do this. There is a way to do this. Zod cast null, yeah, cast undefined to null. Yeah, I'm not gonna read AI because we need to think. We might read this. Built-in way to coerce null to undefined. Right now I'm doing something like this. Coerce null to undefined. This is 2023. Oh wow. I mean, what is this? This is a function. Okay, this is a function. It takes a value if it's null. هنعمل coerce from null to undefined, but I want to do the other way around. Answered by Jacob Wiesenberger. Dot transform x to coerce. Yeah, transform coerce. Okay, this is yeah, I can use transform. I think we need a built-in way to coerce it from. What is that? Something built in, like, okay. I mean, why everyone is coercing null to undefined, but I find myself having to coerce undefined to null. Null to undefined. Yeah. طيب إذا بدي أحول النل undefined. طيب خلينا نطلع على ال social profile page. الفورم تبعي doesn't have default values. And these guys could be optional. You know, maybe I have to remove the optional. First of all, I have to remove the optional. Maybe null is like, null is a value. Undefined is the default here. Undefined is a default. Null is a value. So I have undefined and I have a string, but a user cannot send null anyway. Okay, user cannot send null anyway. He cannot specify that his bio is null. He can say that his bio is an empty string. If he set his bio to an empty string, I would have to make it an empty string and not null. This is very complicated actually. This is very complicated. هلا أنا بعرف إنه شو undefined if passed to Prisma is like skipping the whole thing. Null is like setting the thing to null. Okay. In Prisma it's null, and in JavaScript it's undefined. That's the ugly. That's the ugly thing about this situation.
بالبريزما no value يعني null، بس هون بقى no value يعني undefined. null هي عبارة عن value انت عم تحطها explicitly. انا نفسي افهم بس ليش هن عملوا null و undefined، يعني ليش حطونا بهالمواقف هي كلياتها والله ما بعرف. طيب لازم نسأل جيميناي، اخونا جيميناي، على شو على التصرف الصحيح حاليا. بس هو هلا الفورم undefined، فاذا انا اذا خليته undefined وبعدت undefined السيرفر فتمام. انا بعد just don't have nulls, but I might have nulls in the first place. I might have nulls. يعني هو اصلا بريزما null، تمام. فاذا اليوزر ما عنده بايو الفاليو هتكون null ولا هتكون empty string؟ هيكون empty string، هيكون undefined even though the bio is null. يعني اليوزر اول ما يعمل حساب جديد البايو تبعه بيكون ببريزما بيكون المفروض بيكون null. فهذا اليوزر لما يجي يفتح الفورم، لما اليوزر رح يجي يفتح الفورم تبعه، تمام، المفروض الفاليو جوا الفورم جوا البايو تكون شو؟ default value عبارة عن profile data dot bio or an empty string. اوكي، مع انه انا عم بعمل هيك فهي not null، هي عم تنحط empty string by default. بس اذا انا شلت هذا اللاين هلا تمام وعملناها هيك profile data dot bio فهي راح تكون null، تمام، by default راح تكون null. مع انه هي null. يعني اصلا ما بعرف هل ال default value تبع text area oh my god. طيب إذا شلنا هاد وكانت نل مثلا، تمام، واليوزر عدل صارت سترينج بعتناها سترينج. طيب اليوزر ما عدل ضلت بنل. طيب إذا ضلت بنل نبعت للداتا بيس رح ترجع بنل، تمام، لأن اليوزر ما عدل. طيب خلينا نقول إنه undefined. I'm not going to use undefined. I'm only going to use null. But a comment, for example, الcomment cannot be undefined. I think I am going to keep it like this. Okay, maybe null is accepted. Okay, if I keep it like this, it's going to be null. And I'm going to send null. إذا خليناها هيك وجينا لهون هلا، تمام، هلا هو عم يقول لي شو؟ هو عم يقول لي إنه هذا عبارة عن string or null، وهذا عبارة عن string or null or undefined. طيب why don't I remove undefined completely from here؟ تمام، مشان نخلص من القصة يعني. بدل ما اعمل له coerce انا ممكن نعمل نزود شو كذا حول لي انا نال، ممكن اعمل هيك بس ممكن بدل ما نعمل هيك ممكن نحاول نشيل undefined اصلا يعني. تمام. create post body client create post body shape. yeah. هو ليه undefined يعني؟ الموفي title string non undefined. movie title عايزين string nullable dot optional. فليش في undefined بقى؟ انا ما مفهوم يعني، ماني عامل له انه undefined ولا هي okay. I can remove optional. okay, I can remove optional, although it should exist because like it's okay to send the request without movie title. But maybe if I remove optional I won't have undefined. Create post body server, movie title balancing or not. Yeah, I mean I think this is better. I don't know why optional makes it like optional and undefined. This is nonsense. It's not the same as TypeScript. I mean TypeScript, when you add this, it does not add undefined, I think. If we say like let the or like type t شو is string, doesn't mean that x t is equal to s. طيب okay, but can I say undefined? No. See, like guys, like TypeScript, if you put an optional here, it doesn't allow undefined. But زاد عم يعمل العكس. زاد عم يقول لك انه اذا انت قلت لي اوبشنال فحسوي لك اياها undefined. طب ليش المسخره يا اخي؟ ليش المسخره يا اخي؟ We have to ask Gemini about this. Create post body server scheme. So I'll say optional. Okay. I mean maybe there is something. ما في شيء غير الاوبشن، ما بعتقد انه في شيء غير الاوبشن. طيب why in زاد optional means optional or undefined? Why in TypeScript this is not the case? For example, here it's going to be optional or it could be set undefined. But here وين روحنا؟ رجاء أخي، ولا لا ترجع؟ لا ترجع، استنى. optional. But here type is equal to x plus string. X cannot be set to undefined. It could is optional. Yeah.
Is not a difference between standard TypeScript and Zod. He's probably going to tell me that this is because of something that JavaScript did 10 years ago, you know, some bad choice, as usual. Rather, a clash between Zod and your strict TypeScript configuration. Yeah. Here's exactly why this discrepancy exists and what is happening under the hood. Discrepancy meaning discrepancy is a noticeable difference, inconsistency, or lack of agreement. Okay, nice. Okay, April. Cancel. And what is happening under the hood? The TypeScript reality, exact optional property types. Your premise that gonna be set to demand actually false. Yeah, it's because I activated this option, exact optional property type. By default, standard TypeScript treat as you can totally set it on default. However, because you have the modern ultra strict flag name, you don't do cool rules. Why Zod behaves differently? Zod, on the other hand, was built to mirror runtime JavaScript reality. Runtime in standard JavaScript, an omitted property and an undefined property are practically identical in 17% of use cases. When you write Zod generates a TypeScript type, Zod fundamentally does not support the exact optional property type strictness. The creator of Zod, Colin McDonald, has stated that properly supporting that specific type the schema inference level is too complex and causes massive recursive type inference issues. Interesting. طيب معناتها should I activate that flag or should I not activate that flag? How the industry handled this? Because that allows undefined and your Prisma types provided you get type errors when you pass this out by directly to Prisma. Yeah. The modern standard is to accept that Zod is going to let undefined values through. Zod is going to let undefined values through, and you must clean your data object before handing it to strict library like Prisma. Okay. ماشي. So I have to mute this guy. He's talking a lot. Let's mute this guy. لسه ساعة. طيب معناتها معناتها شو؟ معناتها this is normal. Okay, this is normal to have this inconsistency. And here, okay, even though this guy, wait a second. I mean, yeah, it's because I defined it in.
طيب coerce to null. I could coerce to null. Okay, this is a solution. Or I could do just exactly as he told me to do, which is spreading what? Spreading this thing. Okay, like body dot title is not equal to undefined, and body dot with title. What's wrong with this? Spread types may only be created. Yeah, we need the what is exactly happening? I mean, this is an object, so this is an object اصلا. Okay, this doesn't work. I'm spreading the result, but this result could be what? Yeah, could be, can I say this? I think it's possible. Maybe I have to use this. No, also no. How is that possible? Spread types may only be created. Wow, man, what's going on? Body dot movie title is not equal to undefined. Yeah, it could be null. It could be null. I could spread the whole body. I mean, shit. Yeah, I see that. I see. If I use this and I spread this guy, I still can't do it because I need to say movie, right? Yeah, this works right now because like I'm spreading this object with a key and value, and spreading the key and the value. Okay, but this is ugly. This is ugly. This is ugly. I can just say movie title. Okay, movie title وعبارة عن شو؟ body the movie title. If it's empty, you know, if it's null or undefined or an empty string or blah blah blah, make it null. Make it null. Then we also have the rating. Body dot rating, and if it's null or undefined or null. But I think, yeah, I mean, yeah, this is correct. Yeah, it's okay. Do we have something else? Image. But that's like when I'm creating the post, I will include the user
selection. Where is it? Save user selection. Yeah. Save user selection. And I will include the count. I will include this. I will return the result. Okay. Post post هو عبارة عن social service done. Create post. It takes a user ID. It takes regular body. And it returns a post. Okay, this is nice. This is nice. I have to extract these into types. That's okay, we'll do this later. Now this monster. Again, user ID. It is the user ID. Remove this. And remove this. And take this. Export. We don't need to export. Time. Update profile request. It's equal to this thing. Okay. We have to say update profile request. Okay. And this is going to be my service. Update profile. Update user profile. For consistency, comment result equal to await Prisma. User ID string fastly body. عبارة عن wait user no update profile body server. update profile body server. طيب update profile body server. And okay, I would say post bio plus name plus image is equal to body. Yeah. Selection save user selection save user selection. طيب هلا إذا كان البايو أو النيم أو الإيمج not exist أصلا يعني شو راح يصير؟ أنا هاي بدي أجربها من زمان بس عم بنسى أجربها. هي حيصير في عندي ايرور يعني طبعا للبادي يعني البايو this will throw an error if one of them doesn't exist. string null or undefined name تقريبا حت throw an error. خلينا نجرب. if we have a file we go test. Let's make it a side menu. Test.js. What's the name? X plus y is equal to what? Name. There is no. Okay. This is this guy. And let's say local X plus y. Here. Say clear. No. Test. طيب المفروض انه شو index test شو index test؟ ناخذ التست I got an undefined. I didn't got an error. Okay, yeah. No error. No error. It's undefined. If it doesn't exist, you get undefined. Cool, nice. Okay. Nice. So if it's not equal to undefined, all right, spread this guy. And if its name is not undefined, because if it's undefined, okay, if it's undefined معناتها شو؟ معناتها انا ما بدي اعمل ابديت، يعني بدي اتركه مثل ما هو، والديفولت فاليو تبعه هي undefined. default value هي undefined بالزاد، يعني هلا انت بالزاد الفيلد default value هي عبارة عن undefined. طيب إذا ما كنت عم بستخدم رياكت هوك فورم، إذا ما كنا عم نستخدم رياكت هوك فورم، شو هي الديفولت فاليو تبع الفيلد؟ الديفولت فاليو تبع الفيلد أعتقد هي كمان undefined. صح ولا لا؟ والله ما بعرف، بس غالبا هي حتكون undefined. طيب update user profile. social service one. It takes user ID and it takes breakpoint body and it returns an updated user, and I shall return the user as an updated user. Why not just say user? It's a user. It's a user. Keep things. طيب أنا المفروض إنه شو؟ المفروض أنا هون عملنا create post، فالمفروض إني أرجع raise dot status 201. أوكي، وهون عم نعمل comment على البوست فرجعنا 201. هون عملنا unlike رجعنا 200. هون عملنا like رجعنا 201. الunlike رجعنا 200. أنا المفروض إني أرجع شو المفروض إني أرجع وقت أعمل delete؟ HTTP status for delete success. For delete request, HTTP maintain or should imply resources successfully. HTTP can also be returned. Should delete return method. If the delete method is successfully applied, the origin server should send a 202 accepted service code. If the action will likely succeed but has not yet been enacted, 202 يعني شو يعني 202 accepted. A 202 delete request method. A 202 accepted. It must mean the request has been accepted and will probably succeed, but the resource has not yet been deleted. Server. Oh, no, this is not the case, man. 204 is the best. should retain 200 وخلاص يعني. responses والله يمكن زمان المفروض نرجع 200 يعني، لأنه هو عم لك 200 200 أخي 200 just 200 أوكي just 200. طيب وقت نعمل بوت، طيب HTTP status for success bot. For a bot request HTTP 200 أو 201 أو 200 خلاص 200 تمام حلو 200 I don't have to set anything. طيب we are close guys, we are very close. طيب هلا هون update user profile أنا عم بعمل update، فإذا اليوزر doesn't exist this guy is going to throw. We forget. Okay, this guy is going to throw an error. Okay. أخليه بصراحة لعبة export async function follow user target user ID هو عبارة عن string user ID, that's like two words, yeah. Oh my god, okay. طيب target user ID, this is a better name definitely, and user ID. طيب bisma.user.update where user وعبارة عن ID data following connect مع this guy. Okay. We can remove this. Equal to social address. Social شو نرجع social address. Oh, user it takes user ID and it takes target user ID. طيب user ID raise.locals.user ID and target user ID هو عبارة عن this is bad. Okay, type follow user request equal to request of we have a params. sorry استنى بس شلون البارام اسمه يوزر اي دي كمان؟ البارام اسمه يوزر اي دي. Yeah. Okay. User ID. Probably this is a bad name. Target user. Maybe target user ID is a better. This means that I have to change the front end. But target is way better, man. Okay. I need the consistency. I need better names. Let's change. بس هلا صار بدي اعمل params with target user ID. We don't want to do this. I mean, it's just the name that is going to be different. But if I change the name, I don't have to change it. I don't care about the name actually. I mean, those two are exactly the same. No, it's not exactly the same. No. Okay. طيب صحيح احنا ما عملنا validation للبودي. نسينا نعمل validation للبودي. It's okay. طيب هنعمل بعدين. طيب user ID عبارة عن string. طيب target user result هذا شو هذا بقى break dot params. request result هي عبارة عن شو؟ عبارة عن ID. يعني نعمل await كمان. wait
واو ويت ولا واحد حطيت له ويت. اوه شلون عم يخليني ارجع بروميس يعني ما فاهم يخليني ارجع بروميس كان. طيب هلا هون انا عندي لايك بوست يا عبارة شو يا this is going to fail because this is an array of strings. I have to do this. Okay, for consistency, we have to do this. User into result. Okay, follow user man. Okay, follow user. Data is data. Select is going to be save. Oh, we don't need this. Save user selection. No semicolon. اوكي طيب راح يعطيني يوزر. رجعوا له اليوزر عادي. ليش حتى رجع اليوزر ما رجع سكسس وخلاص والله لازم رجع اليوزر انه عمل بدي اعمل فولو. شو الفايدة اني ارجع اليوزر يعني ما بعرف. المفروض مثلا نرجع الاري اوف فولوينج مثلا او الاري اوف فولورز يعني تابعون ممكن نرجعها بدل ما اعمل لها ريكويست انفاليديت مرة ثانية. فكرة حلوة ممكن. طيب يا سلام يا سلام يا سلام شلون انا استخدمتها شلون ابتديت مثلا create post body create post create post body يصير بستخدم استخدم التايب ما استخدم سكيم صح ما استخدم سكيم وهو ما استخدم سكيم وهو ما استخدم سكيم ابدا. We don't need schemas. We can delete this. Very nice. طيب unfollow. Yeah, it should be capital. Follow. يا أخي يا أخي يا أخي إن شاء الله خلينا ناخد هذا كوبي بيت. مو هو أصلا نفس الشيء. هون بس بدنا نعمل شو unfollow user وبعدين راح نروح على السيرفيس layer طيب unfollow user عملنا نفس الكلام، عملنا unfollow، وبعد ما عملنا unfollow هيجيبها هي كمان. اوكي I see. unfollow. Yep, that's good. Get user follows. Is that ليش يا عم. طيب اوكي I called it get, so let's call it get. Get user follow list. You know, this is a better name. Follows list because it's a list. Wait, please, my user dot find first. String fastly. We don't need anything else. Result equal. Result. Select their IDs. Okay, so I will have an object with the following, with an array of following. Object with an array of following. طيب and I am converting this to an array, and I am returning this array. Now I should be consistent. Okay, final result instead of this. Final result. Okay, return final result. This is better. Okay, now let's check if this user okay, if this user does not exist, find first. I mean, if we look at the result, it could be null. So this user, so find first doesn't throw anything. Find returns a null. Okay, anything with update throws. So I should take this above with get, like get user profile data. طيب حطها هون. اوكي هدول كلهم شو بيرجعوا نل، هدول ممكن يرجعوا نل، هدول كلهم ممكن يرجعوا نل. انا المفروض اني شو اقول له مثلا، تمام يعني المفروض اني اجي لهون واقول له انه بما انه بريزما حبيبنا ما عم يثرو، بدي اقول له انه if not result throw 404. Nice. Otherwise do this thing. Get user follow list. Nice controllers يا سلام. controllers يا سلام. طيب I don't like this name, but at the same time, I mean the name should be consistent. You know, user follows list. This is the name. This should be the name. So social.api fetch app posts. في كتير شغلات نقعد نعدل بيختل. في كتير شغلات نقعد نعدل بيختل، بس النيمينج يا أخي مهم يا أخي، أقسم بالله consistency مهمة. يعني ممكن نرجع following يعني، بس إذا بسميها user follows list أحسن بكتير صراحة. ليه نسميها user follows list؟ user following ولا follows؟ لا user follows and he's also following. He's following and he's got followers. User follows list and user followers list. So user follows list. User follows list. Yeah, this is a better name. احنا مو وقت اسماء بصراحة، مو وقت تظبيط اسماء ابدا. الريك is not used. Yeah, الريك is not used. Weird. That's weird. Get user follows. Rick is not used. Yeah, because we have our middleware. We still haven't implemented our middlewares. We need to fix this first before we forget about it. So let's go for social API DS. delete like post comment. هون كمان شو هون في عندي inconsistency لازم نظبطها. fetch user liked posts. fetch app posts. أنا هون مسميهم fetch وتحت مسميهم post و get. see we need to اوكي. ما احنا ليش جينا لهون؟ جينا من شان الفولو. وين الفولو يا اخي؟ هيك get user follows list. It's exactly the same as the backend. But this means that we need to go for use social mutations or use social queries. We need to make sure that we fixed it. Get user follows list. Get user follows list. Get follows response. Get user follows list response. هو عبارة عن شو؟ هو عبارة عن something like this that has a user follows list. هي عبارة عن شو؟ get the user follows list response, and now I can safely return this array. Nice. طيب اللي هون بقى الداتا ما استخدمها ما عدلناها كمان، مع انه في هون شغلات عدلتها، فصار في عنا inconsistency. هلا صار في عندي inconsistency تقريبا. post follow يعني هذا post follow response. انا بعرف انه برجع لي يوزر، برجع يوزر عبارة عن response save user. الاسم سيء على فكرة، المفروض يكون اسمه save user response مو response save user. بس الفكرة اني انا بستعمل هذا مليون مكان عندي بالكود يعني،
هغيره بعدين، مو هلا، هغيره بعدين. هلا صار في عندي شو data dot user which is the case, and also here I have data dot user. I think it's correct. data dot user بالput user profile update profile بترجع لي user. مظبوط مظبوط. حلو. انا المفروض هدول التايبس المفروض اني استخدمهم بالكنترولرز تبعي، مش عارف. بس هل فيني استخدمهم بالريز دوت جيسون؟ يعني إذا قلت له مثلا انه الريسبونس عندي مفروض يرجع شغلة مثلا في عندها نيم هو عبارة عن نمبر مثلا. هذا مو صح، اي والله صح جدا يا اخي، صحيح. يعني لو ما حيرضى غير اني شو يعني له نيم ثلاثة سكر، قلت له مثلا نيم اس ما حيرضى. حلو والله، روعة 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 روعة. طيب أنا لازم أضمن إنه الريسبونس هو نفسه اللي عم بستخدمه هون. ففي عندنا شغل كتير كتير كتير. خلينا نوقف النهاردة كده، كفاية عشان كده كفاية. بس يعني هاي الحركة حلوة. طيب طيب في 500,000 ايرور، في عندنا 500,000 ايرور. هاي شو هيك والله. remove this. طيب لا رجع لي اياها social API TS. طيب خلينا هون هلا نحن. المفروض كنا نعمل برانش يا اخي، نسينا نعمل برانش مشان نكوميت على البرانش. شلون بدي اعمل برانش واخد عليه كل هدول الكوميتس؟ how to make a branch and move all the uncommitted changes to that branch. This is going to be a tough task. Moving uncommitted changes to a new branch. Duplicated. Just create a new branch, and if you do git status, you will see that the state of the code hasn't changed, and you can commit it to the new branch. Is there a way to push changes? طيب شو من شان انه انا interesting man, interesting. Okay. Okay, do we have some edits here? We do have some edits here. Get the branch, enhance backend, enhance backend. This is a good name. Enhance backend. طيب get checkout. switch to branch. طيب حلو، عندي اياهم كلهم. Nice. Now we can go here, and I'm honestly going to add all of in one comment. Okay, I will add all. I mean, what did I do here exactly? import protect. حطيت protect ماشي. هون شو عملنا؟ erasable syntax only ماشي هذا. طيب social control هذا غيرناه كله، خليه آخر شي. هذا خلي error handler، خلي كتير شغلات. طيب ممكن نقول أول شي text protect signed no protect get signed upload signature authorized. Protect get upload signature for authorized. This is a good comment. Okay, commit. الاب ايرور والايرور هاندلر. شو عملنا في ايرور هاندلر yeah error handler validate body validate params auth model. هذا فيه 500,000 ايرور. feet add class and validation middle wheels commit. طيب شو عنا بعدين؟ auth model. اوكي هذا وكمان social دوت سيرفيس. هدول ثلاثة عاملهم كوميت مع بعض. express دوت دي دوت دي اس. هاتو express هذا فاضي اصلا ولا لا؟ هذا حطينا فيه شو params with post id schema. طيب هذا comment هذا فرونت اند وهذا فرونت اند. طيب غيرنا النيم هون وضفنا التايبس. شو ممكن نعمل كومنت فيت يعني فيت ولا ريفاكتور فيت add params type schemas. Okay, and here I have like 1 2 3. I'll say that this guy, what did I do here اصلا؟ profile sidebar. شو عملت بالprofile side؟ use social queries. غيرنا الاسم بس. refactor يعني refactor enhance naming. That's a very good commit for better clarity. Yep. Okay, and now here we still haven't implemented the body validation, but that's okay. Refactor create a service there and remove
validation from to this is here no validation from controller to route middleware. Commit and publish branch. Let's publish the branch. طيب if I check out main, git check out. Oh, your branch. Wait a second, how is that possible? ايوه لاني عملت كوميت لدول الشغلات بالنيو برانش راحوا من المين برانش. نايس. express rate limit you can view the change of the basic rate limiting middleware for the express web server. هي أي واحدة هي كده. السلام عليكم. يب 36 مليون داونلود يا أخي. %100% TypeScript. Let's look at this guy. And I got my branch. Yeah. You know, I have to make a new unify the post schema and don't fall. Yeah, okay. Enhance the backend. Enhance the backend. Implementing service layer. Rest body request body and validation where and strict types express enhance the backend pages. Implement a service layer for Prisma queries. Why? It's going to be markdown. شلون كنا نعمل markdown؟ checkbox.
Implement a service layer for Prisma queries. Implement request body and request validation. شو هاي middle where's شو هاي mid request body and request validation middle where's use instead of validating inside تمام. هاي رقم 2. رقم 3 implement strict type between client. Yeah, implement strict type system between client Axios response types and server controllers return type. In strict type system between client Axios response type and server controllers return type. طيب شو كمان بدنا نعمل؟ شو كمان بدنا نعمل؟ الايرور عملناها الايرور عملناها I think these are enough for now. These requirements oh that if group requirements should be implemented back. Implement a service layer for Prisma queries. Implement request body and params. Implement the strict type system between JSON return type. Yeah. And we have X here, we have X here, we have X here. We don't have X here. We don't have X here. Make sure everything is working and possibly create some tests. Possibly create some. Yeah, maybe we don't need possibly. Create some. Make sure everything is working and create unit tests. These requirements should be implemented in the. I should take this one at the top. Okay, these requirements should be implemented in the enhance backend branch. Yeah, great. Yes, the backend code base. Backend code base, I don't think. Enhance the backend. You know what? I will change this to be Zod validation. Define the post schema and don't fall for premature optimization again. We are working on this. Migrate data fetching from Zeus stand to React query. I think this one is done today, yeah. Yeah, this one is done. How can I close this with the commit? Finished migrating React query. With React query. Domestic updates. I don't need the domestic updates. Error boundary. React error boundary. No, React query error boundary. Okay, React query error boundary. React query error boundary and show command. Show command. Okay. Commit. Close issue. Issues closed. refactor state updates with طيب هي يعني نحن عملناها وبعدين شلنا امر. بصراحة ما حبيته يا اما حسيته syntax تبعه غليظة. هو ما يمكن يعني ما استخدمته كتير. هو السنتكس ما فيها شي، بس انا ما حبيت انه هو شو انه بدي استخدم ماب او سيت بدي اروح بدي اعمل امبورت لباكج مشان الماب والسيت يصيروا ميوتو. خلينا هلا هون. طيب
That's enough. That's enough for today.